Hey guys, Christian the Havercard Man coming back at you with another tea time video today, but before we get into that, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you can show your support for the Coalition of Scrubs, and while you're at it, you might as well go check out all the links in the description to all the other creators and all the other members of the Coalition of Scrubs. They are all wonderful people making you guys some awesome Yugioh content, so be sure to go check them all out and give them all some love. My channel is also down there if you want to check that out, be sure to do so. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today talking about Pot of Desires and why it is a pot of a lot to be desired. So, a lot of people love this card, and I'm just going to completely on it because I'm very iffy with this card. It really depends on the deck that I'm playing. Obviously, okay, so it's just a spell card, so it just says banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down, draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Pot of Desires per turn. So it's a +1 effect. Mostly a 2 of in a lot of decks. Grand Magi players love this card, of course, and Top Logic Zaraboros players. The thing I don't like about this card is obviously that first part, banishing 10 cards at the top of your deck. I know a lot of people don't care about this clause because they're just caring about the +1 and being able to make their plays. But this is a very combo-centric format right now where Adamantipator and Eldritch is running rampant and everyone's just playing any sort of combo build they want. Anything goes because we are in the Master Rule 5 format, so we can special summon anything wherever we want to without the restriction of link arrows. The thing about this is, though, is that with all these combo decks running around, so many of them are playing 1-ofs. Now, if you're somebody playing against a combo deck who plays a Pot of Desires and they banish their key combo cards, obviously you're rejoicing about that. The combo player, however, is not. To be able to get a +1 for a combo play where you end up having to actually shut off the combo because you get rid of the key components is one of the worst feelings ever. Because it all is a game of chance. And you're just banishing top 10 cards from your deck. You have no idea what those cards are unless you somehow stacked it. And it hurts either way knowing that all those cards just got banished. When you think about so many decks that play 1-ofs, you know, you get into things like DDD, Heroes, you know, all these combo decks out here that can only afford to play like 1-ofs of certain cards. When they banish those off Pot of Desires, well, how are you going to be feeling about that? I mean, okay, I know Heroes kind of a bad example because they have so many search cards, they don't need a draw card. But either way, you just think about how insane this card is. Yeah, the +1's good, but considering, once again, the fact that we have Adamantipator and Eldritch running around, is the +1 really that good? Is it really that worth banishing 10 cards from a quarter of your deck just to draw 2 cards? Is that really where we've come to? We've come to a point in the game where it's that worth it. Now, once again, I understand a lot of people just really want the +1 effect, and they don't really care what they banish as long as they can still make plays, which is fine for a lot of decks. But it sucks when you get into like those tier 2 or rogue strategies that need this card just to stay consistent, and even then sometimes the consistency in quotations that it can provide can actually ruin the consistency of the deck because now you're banishing all the key pieces that you actually needed to be able to play. And I know that that's like a big lesson in consistency and why top tier decks can function as well as they can because they don't need a card like Pot of Desires, but for the cards that need Pot of Desires, it hurts. It really hurts because, I mean, obviously a lot of those same decks can't run Extravagance because they need their extra deck and they can't afford anything to get hit. And it's one of the things I just don't get it. I know, once again, the +1 is really good, but we're also in a format right now where decks can go +7 without even touching a Pot of Desires. How does that even make this card remotely relevant for the format? I know it's good at unbreaking hands, and it can fix a lot of games, but I mean, if you're looking to unbreak a hand, run Phantasme. People are still link summoning, you know, or run hand destruction, or like the, you know, whatever. I think card destruction actually is more what I was looking for, but either way, there are other ways to fix a hand than banishing a quarter of your deck face down, no less. You can't even access the cards. That is such a buzzkill. Like, I don't know. Once again, I know a lot of people love this card, but for me, there is a lot to be desired out of this. I don't think that drawing 2 cards is worth banishing 10 from the top of my deck. I would much rather find a different way to draw those 2 cards. Especially if I'm playing a deck where I've got a lot of darks, I'll throw in a Lure of Darkness. If I've got level 8 monsters, I'm throwing in a trade-in. You know, I'm going to find other ways to work around this. Pot of Desires is really a last resort for me. I'd rather not use this card if I can help it. Unless I'm playing a deck that once again wants stuff banished, like a Grand Maju deck or a deck that goes into Topologic Zeraboros regularly. Those would be about the only cases I'd actually want to see a Pot of Desires. Other than that, because there's so many times when people will end up desiring into Desires, and since Desires can only be activated once per turn, I mean, you really kind of kill yourself on that, because that +1 you got just became a net or a hand neutral, basically, because you have one card in your hand that's completely dead for that turn, and you've banished 10 cards off the top of your deck to do it. Like, sure, you've thinned out your deck and gotten yourself to some of your pieces quicker, but there's also a good chance you just banished a lot of the pieces you needed off of those 10 cards. So this is one of those points of contention for me where it's like, you got to be willing to make the sacrifice to play this card. I myself, 9 times out of 10, I'm not willing to make this sacrifice unless I know that I'm playing a lot of 3-ofs and all of my key parts can be 3-ofs. And that I don't need, like, if there's cards that I need to search out and I have to play them at 3, that's just going to provide inconsistency for the deck, no matter how you look at it. Being able to, or having to play around a Pot of Desires so that you don't lose all your pieces, and even then there's still a chance that you could end up banishing that whole playset. Like, there's never not a chance that you're not going to banish all of your cards off of that. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm not going to discuss on this one for too long, because this is once again really a point of contention, and I myself can't justify the sacrifice, but I know a lot of you people can, and that's probably why I'm not really fit for competitive play, but I still like playing anyways. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. We love all your support so much. We love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, be sure to click that like and subscribe button down below so you can stay updated on the channel and see more content like this in the future. We love you guys all very much, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Remember to have fun and make your move. Peace out.